And in this series of stretching and mobilising exercises, we're now going to look at the neck. It's a common area that takes a lot of tension, and a lot of the movements for the neck are everyday movements. We're going to start off laying down, which is the easiest position to do this in, and it also helps emphasise the very important relaxation part that is to be played in doing all these type of exercises. I'm going to lay with one pillow, and it's going to go just under your head. If you have your pillow too far down, you will prop your neck forward and you will be in a chin prodded position, whereas there we're neutral. And we're going to start with a simple rotation of your neck, so you're just going to look to the left and look to the right, relaxing as you go. And if you're particularly tight, you can choose to hold as a bit of a stretch, or if you feel that you prefer to just keep moving and you get better mobilisation, you can do it that way also. If that's getting easy, we can use the hands to cause a little extra rotation at the end, fingertip pressure onto the chin, not going into pain, and just taking it slightly into a stretch. The second movement, we're going to go ear down to shoulder. It's important to remember that it's ear to shoulder and not shoulder to ear, which is going to increase your tension, which is the opposite of what we're trying to achieve. We're going to bring ear down to shoulder, keeping your head on the pillow, and same to the opposite side. And again, like the rotation, we can choose to bring a hand over the top of the head this time and pull the ear down to the shoulder. We can hold that as a stretch and relax, or we can repeat the movement to increase the distance that you go each time over. The final position of movement, we're going to go onto the side. For this, you're going to need an extra pillow, or you can fold a single pillow in half, so that again you keep a good alignment through your spine. So the distance between your shoulder and your head is much greater when you're on your side than it is on your back, which is why you need the extra pillow. Then we're going to keep the face on the pillow, and we're just going to nod the head downwards, chin to chest, and then head backwards as though you're looking at the ceiling. Moving on with neck mobilisation, one thing to think about if we're getting any dizziness or any double vision or any other problems that are brought on by these exercises, you need to discuss this with either your doctor or your physiotherapist before you carry on with the exercises. In some cases, these movements are actually good to go through the dizziness, but in other cases it can be signs and symptoms of something more serious that needs extra looking at. So make sure that you've discussed this before you carry on. We're going to progress the exercises on at this point, and so if you found them easy laying down, we can move on to a sitting or standing position. The movements are exactly the same, so we can nod the head forwards and backwards. We can turn to the side. And again, we can bring the fingertips to the chin to help increase the movement round. And with the final movement, over to the side, ear to shoulder, not shoulder to ear. And again, we can bring the hand over the side of the head to help increase that movement. Or we can choose to do that same movement as a stretch and simply hold in position. You'll feel a strong stretch through this muscle here, which is an area that's commonly held tension in a lot of people. The final thing to have a little look at is a postural movement. With a lot of shoulder and neck and spine problems, our posture tends to come forwards, especially when we're doing things like driving, typing, using text messages, using computers. We tend to come forward in our posture, and our chin will follow our shoulders and jut forward. The deep muscles in the neck are postural muscles, and by strengthening these, we can limit the effects of this happening. If you put a cushion behind your head, or if you have a high back chair, you can simply use the headrest on your chair. We're going to do the opposite of that chin poke forward. We're going to tuck the chin inwards and downwards very gently. If you imagine that what you're trying to do is squash the very top layer of foam or feather in your pillow, but leave the rest of it alone, that's the amount of pressure that you need. And if you can see the muscles of the neck overworking, then you know you're overdoing it. You can do the same exercise laid down, exactly the same, pushing the back of the head into the pillow. When you've got good at it, we can take the pillow away and you can tuck your chin gently without anything to push back.